Hi everyone, my name is Devon.
I'm Joy.
We're at the Worcester Public Library and today we are sharing with you hot summer titles.
Hot summer titles for a hot summer.
Very hot. So these are books that have been released over the past couple of months and they're considered essential summer reads. Everything we're talking about today is in the catalog, in some cases in various formats. So you just keep your eyes on the slides as we're talking and you'll see what we have it available as. So now I'm going to switch screens so you can see what we have in store for you today. All right, and as usual, I'll be focusing on the fiction and Joy will do the nonfiction. You know, if it's summer, I'm going to include a romance title.
Oh no, not again.
Yep, again. This one is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is an anticipated novel for all of 2021, according to Oprah Magazine, The Wall Street Journal, Bookpage, Good Housekeeping, BuzzFeed, and many other publications. In the book, when Poppy met Alex, there was no spark and no reason to think they'd ever talk again. Alex is quiet, studious, and destined for a future in academia. Poppy is a wild child who only came to the U of Chicago to escape small-town life. But after sharing a ride home for the summer, the two form a friendship. Over the years, Alex and Poppy's lives take them in different directions. But every summer, the two find their way back to each other for a week-long vacation. And each summer, they grow closer, until a trip in Croatia goes awry and they lose touch. 2 years later, Poppy, a travel writer, is in a rut. The answer to her problem is obvious. She needs to win back her best friend Alex and invites him on another vacation. This book is obviously an opposites attract story. It unfolds through dual timelines. It got good reviews from many authors, including Jodi Picoult and Beth O'Leary. Kirkus said, Henry's strength is in the sparkling, laugh-out-loud, funny dialogue, particularly the banter-filled conversations between Poppy and Alex. The result is a story that pays homage to classic romantic comedies while having its own point of view. A warm and winning When Harry Met Sally update that hits all the perfect notes. So I'm not a huge fan of When Harry Met Sally, but I do like the classic romantic rom-coms, you know, like from the 50s. Okay, not Joy's cup of tea, but if you're interested, make sure to put a hold on this in our catalog. Here's one from Joy.
Well, my first choice for this week is not a romance, unless you consider treasure hunting a kind of romantic pursuit. And it's titled Chasing the Thrill, Obsession, Death, and Glory in America's Most Extraordinary Treasure Hunt by Daniel Barabisi. In 2010, an eccentric art dealer named Forrest Fenn set in motion a treasure hunt that lasted a full decade, absorbed the energies of thousands of eager sleuths, and ended, for one, in triumph, for others, in tragedy. It all started when Fenn, who had been diagnosed with terminal cancer, claimed to have hidden a chest full of gold and jewels somewhere near his home in the western United States. He published a poem containing cryptic clues as to its location and invited the public to decode the poem and claim the treasure. As it turns out, Fenn didn't die until 2020, but he never revealed the location of the hoard, and the hunt went on. Author Barabisi learned about Fenn in 2017, became intrigued, and plunged in. What started as a good story quickly became a personal quest. He was not alone. What began for many as a mildly entertaining hobby, I mean, who hasn't dreamed about finding buried treasure at some point in their lives? Right, Devon?
Absolutely.
Okay. Evolved for some into an obsession mired in infighting, conspiracy theory, and bitter rivalry. Some were bankrupted in the attempt. For at least 5 others, the quest proved lethal. In the end, the treasure was located. Yes, it did actually exist. But was it all worth it? Depends on whom you ask. PW gave Chasing the Thrill a starred review and calls it a captivating account of an eccentric community of treasure hunters shot through with dramatic plot twists and colorful personalities. Author Christopher McDougall says that every page draws you deeper into the no man's land where treasure or tragedy awaits. So, if you're ready for a bit of vicarious adventure this summer, perhaps with a dollop of good old-fashioned paranoia thrown in, Chasing the Thrill may be just the book for you.
I'm pretty interested in this one because I didn't know there were any modern day treasure hunts. So now I feel like I should keep my eyes open for more.
I think so.
All right, and here's my next fiction choice. Okay, so this one's a tearjerker. It's called The 100 Years of Lenny and Margot by Marion Cronin. This is a most anticipated book of the year, according to Elle, one of the 20 books you'll want to read this summer, according to Cosmopolitan, and the book of the month, according to Good Housekeeping. 17-year-old Lenny lives on the terminal ward at the Glasgow Princess Royal Hospital. She is motherless, and her father rarely visits. Though the teenager has been told she's dying, she still has living to do. Joining the hospital's arts and crafts class, she meets Margot, an 83-year-old, purple pajama-wearing, fruitcake-eating rebel who transforms Lenny in ways she never imagined. As their friendship blooms, a world of stories opens for these unlikely companions who, between them, have been alive for 100 years. Though their days are dwindling, both are determined to leave their mark on the world and decide to create 100 works of art, one painting for each year of their combined lives. This book got a starred review from BookPage, which praised the author's easy prose, warmth, candor, and humor. Other reviewers have said the book made them laugh out loud, cry, and that the story was like a warm hug. Author Kathleen Rooney said, with a sensibility that's as compassionate and quirky as those of her two heroines, Cronin offers a deceptively lighthearted response to life's heaviest questions. As Lenny and Margot leave their mark on each other, so too does this tearjerker of a book leave its mark on the reader. And that is a picture of the author celebrating her book going into publication. I think this book sounds good. I like the fact that they're doing art projects, to keep themselves busy. And whenever there's a wacky older lady in the story, you know that things are going to be fun.
Are you referring to me?
Maybe.
I don't know about the warm hug thing.
Well, I'll accept the warm hug if you don't want it. Here's one from Joy.
My next choice is Americanin, an unexpected U.S. history in 13 books by Jess McHugh. As the title says, Americanin explores U.S. history through the lens of 13 of the nation's most popular books. Among them, the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, Webster's Dictionary, and Emily Post's Etiquette, among others. Together, these titles have sold tens of millions of copies, and many remain in print today. I guarantee that you, fellow reader, have housed a copy of at least one of them on your personal bookshelves at one point or another. But despite their ongoing popularity, author McHugh maintains that these simple and ubiquitous dictionaries, almanacs, how-to manuals, and cookbooks have not been given their due as touchstones for the evolution of American customs and ideals through the decades, and in some cases, centuries. She examines how these texts have helped shape our concept of what it means to be American and how they have often communicated deeply conservative values. The books McHugh has chosen, says the Wall Street Journal, are secular American Bibles, dog-eared books for daily life that ostensibly taught readers one subject, all the while subtly instructing them about their role in society and their responsibilities to family and to country. Bookpage says that McHugh's cultural analysis is nothing short of brilliant. Author Jake Halpern says, Americanon is elegant and meticulously researched, a treasure for book lovers and history buffs alike.
I am definitely a book lover, and I'm pretty sure I've had Betty Crocker on my shelf.
Oh, several editions.
Yes, absolutely. All right, my next title I think people are going to be really excited about.
Yes.
The Maidens. Everyone probably remembers the name Alex Michaelides because of The Silent Patient, which was huge. That was his first book, and this is his second. Amazon considered this to be the best book of last month. Author Lucy Foley, who wrote the guest list, said she liked this book even more than The Silent Patient, which I know so many people liked, even my sister, who is picky. This book is also recommended for fans of The Secret History by Donna Tartt, which I know Joy enjoyed.
I love it.
In this book, Edward Fosca is a murderer. Of this, Mariana is certain. But Fosca is untouchable. A charismatic Greek tragedy professor at Cambridge University, Fosca is adored by staff and students alike, particularly by a secret society of female students known as the Maidens. Mariana is a brilliant therapist who becomes fixated on the Maidens when one member, a friend of Mariana's niece, is found stabbed to death in Cambridge. Mariana quickly suspects that behind the idyllic beauty of the spires and turrets, and beneath the ancient traditions, lies something sinister. And she becomes convinced that, despite his alibi, Fosca is guilty of the murder. Mariana's obsession to prove Fosca guilty is tinged with her grief over the death of her husband a year before, and her protectiveness of her niece, whom she raised after the young woman's parents died. Despite its modern setting, this book is considered a gothic thriller. It got a starred review from Booklist and Publishers Weekly. Reviewers say the story is layered with dreamlike references to Greek mythology and ancient ritualized murders, that it's elegant, sinister, and has mind-blowing twists. Newsweek said, Michaelides permanently cements himself as a top modern author with this masterful, slow burn blend of Greek mythology and a knife-edged plot. I like anything that's related to mythology, so I'm probably going to read this one.
I've had it on hold for a long time, and I've got to say, there's not one element in that description that I don't love.
So I'm not surprised you already got it on hold. Here's another nonfiction.
Okay, for my last choice, I've chosen Test Gods, Virgin Atlantic, and the Making of a Modern Astronaut by Nicholas Schmeidel. Okay, now that we've tackled a 21st century treasure hunt, let's venture into outer space. Interested?
Yes.
I'd go in a heartbeat. In this book, Nicholas Schmeidel, a writer for the New Yorker, tells the remarkable story of the dedicated and visionary individuals involved in Galactic's campaign to build a company devoted to, yes, space tourism. He focuses on Richard Branson, the eccentric billionaire who funded the project, Mike Moses, the company's unflappable president, Mark Stuckey, Virgin's lead test pilot, his colleague Mike Alsbury, who lost his life in pursuit of the dream, and others. He moves seamlessly in and out of his characters' inner lives and points out that there is often a thin line between genius and lunacy. Test Gods earned rave reviews by just about everyone. LJ and PW gave it starred reviews. The New York Times reviewer says that it is the right stuff, updated for the 21st century, worthy of anything Woolf or Mailer would have written were either of them alive today. And he praises the author's brisk prose, insightful biographical profiles, and white-knuckled descriptions of all of the risks necessary to accomplish the task of giving ordinary people the opportunity to space travel. However, since it is unlikely that any of us will be going on this particular journey anytime soon, this compulsively readable work might be your next best bet. As author Buzz Bissinger says, strap yourself in and enjoy a hell of a ride. And I just don't know why that Branson or what's his name, Elon Musk, can't like do a lottery for the rest of us so that at least we'd have a little bit of a chance on getting one of the first commercial space flights. It just seems so unfair.
I wouldn't mind being in a lottery for that.
Oh man, I do.
All right, and that brings us to the end of our episode for this week. We will be back the third weekend of this month with some staff picks that relate to our Tales and Tales summer reading theme. So expect some books with animals in them. If you've enjoyed our show today, thank you for watching. Make sure to give us some likes and loves. And share this video with friends who might also like some book review videos.
See you later, fellow readers.